Christy Ruffner, ChristyRuffner.com, back for my second little video. And I just wanted to show you how I've been proceeding. I did go to the store today and I bought a cover for my lights so that hopefully the lighting isn't quite so orange. And I also purchased a tripod. I bought it at my local Office Depot and it cost me $29. And basically I got it so that I could have a second set of hands, because part of what I'm going to be doing here is showing a video on worm bin composting. And worm bin composting is, well, you need to use your hands, so I'm not going to be able to hold the camera. And I just figured that probably a nice tripod would work great. This is a nice little unit. It has a little platform on it so that you can rotate it around and be able to shoot in whichever direction you want. And I just thought that this was a really great little tool. So, alright, there we go. We have our tripod set up, and I must say it's quite easy to use. It's very lightweight, and you can adjust it to do pretty much whatever you want. And so here we go. We're going to start with our mini worm bin video. And basically what I'm going to talk about here is we're going to start with different sizes of worm bins that you can compost in. The smaller ones are easy to use inside, and what's nice about them is that they're very, you can pick them up, move them around, they're lightweight. I use these little ones a lot for holding my harvested worms waiting for shipping. And what's nice about them is that you don't have to worry, because of the small space and small amount of material, you don't have to worry about any air vents or any kind of drainage underneath. And you do have to be a little more careful in regards to adding moisture to the system, because there's no place for that moisture to go. But it is a nice small system that allows you to get up close and personal with your worms. And I always use gloves whenever I work in my worms. For one thing, they help keep my hands clean, and they also help protect the worms. And if they get the oil on their bodies from your hands, then oil and water don't mix, and so your worms have a problem with absorbing moisture. And if they can't absorb the moisture, then they can't absorb oxygen either, and your worms effectively suffocate and die. And other than that, it just helps keep your hands clean. So I always wear gloves. And this particular bin here, I'm hoping that you can see. Let's see here if I can get this turned around so that the light shines in here a little bit better. And maybe we can bring this tripod down a little bit to get a little bit closer to what we're doing. And we'll see if we can catch the essence of this bin. There's layers here of worms and end product, the worm castings. You've got shredded newspaper and leaves on the top, and the worms are down in the finished material. You can see all the worms in there. Maybe, I don't know. Doesn't look like it's showing up too awful well. Might have to do a little bit of work on this to see if we can't get a shot of the worms. Probably need a little more light. But this size of bin is really very nice because you can really get into the material and tell exactly what's going on. You can see the worms, and you can get all the way into the bottom without having to get up to your elbows in material. And this bin is a little bit dry, but as long as you don't have a bunch of composting going on, then it's not hot. It's quite cool to the touch, and the worms like it just fine. What I'm doing here is I'm mixing in the top layers down into the bottom layers and sort of mixing the bin up a little bit, and then we're going to wet it down with a spray bottle. And I'm not sure where I left my spray bottle, but we're going to wet it down a little bit, and then we're going to cover it back up and leave them alone. And at some point then we would come back in here and we would feed. But we want to let the bin sort of settle back down before we do that, because we want the worms to start actively feeding. And if we put food on there too quickly, then they're still a little stirred up and angry and upset about being tossed like this, even though they like the end results. They like, you know, having the air incorporated in there, and then we get you know, the bacteria start working on the new bedding that gets stirred in there, and that's food for the worms. So that's about that for this time around, and I will work on trying to get some better video here of the worms and the actual material that's in the bed. And let's see here, I will see you next time. So happy worming. Bye.